Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back with the Monk 52 and Zarkun, and we just happened to jump in some German tier 6 ships, I believe. We're all in German tier 6s. Zarkun is in the München, aka the Munich. And of course, Monk is in the Scharnhorst, and I am in the OG heavy cruiser for the Germans, the York. Now, I haven't played this ship since it's been buffed, so I was interested to see how it performs compared to what I remember it as being a giant steaming pile of cow dung. And then we get put spawning mid on Two Brothers. Now, you guys know that I love me some flambés, right? So there's only one option for me when I spawn mid on Two Brothers, because it's one of the few times where I actually try to have fun in this game. As per the usual, we all jump in and we say good luck to our team because we're about to do something incredibly stupid. No, going up the middle isn't by itself an incredibly stupid idea. It has its benefits. If you do it correctly, you can draw a lot of fire back to you and allow your team time to push the flanks, right? However, going up the middle in a couple of squishy cruisers and a battleship that has underwhelming guns at best, probably not the best idea in the world. But, let's be honest. If you're going to have some fun, you might as well have some fun, right? And that's what this game's supposedly all about. Yes, we like to get all super sweaty, try hard some days, but some days you just got to have some fun. So right off the bat, we get spotted. We also spot the Flandre, so we're going to take a shot with some HE, and we're going to try to push towards the edge of the island ahead of us. That'll keep us shielded from incoming fire and from being spotted initially and allow us to approach. However, given the fact that we've already been spotted coming into the gap, the enemy is going to be here waiting for us, right? Right? So, knowing this, we are going to have to put ourselves in a situation where we're not going to get yeeted at first. Oh my god, there's a lion. Oh no. And he's got HE loaded, and they both shoot at me, and bonk. The lion just hit me for half of my hit points and a double fire with HE. Yeah. Not a happy camper right now, I'll be real honest. But we survived. And we've managed to put ourselves in a position where we can start to ruin the enemy's ideas, right? Now here's the downside. Look at our team's positioning. Our destroyer on the right side has moved in and grabbed the cap. Our battleships are moving out wide. That's fine. They don't have a lot of resistance over there because two of the battleships are still here trying to fight us. So it's just a cruiser and a battleship, and the battleship is retreating on that side. So essentially, that side should be free for those guys to move forward. On the left side, we got a couple of battleships sitting behind an island, and a destroyer that refuses to move out and do any sort of spotting or anything like that. So we're going to try to help remove those guys from where they're at. Now, Shiratsuyu has made the, one can only call this a sudden rush to the brain maneuver of deciding he needs to come back and defend the middle. Now, I respect the decision, but sometimes you got to realize that there are two cruisers and a battleship here. Rushing back to defend in a squishy destroyer, probably not your best plan. Or at least not in a situation where you're going to be spotted, right? Now, we all know that these torpedoes are coming. It is no joke. We have the sonar running already, so we have the torps spotted at a long range. And so we're going to make sure that we're out of the way of those torps. We've got rid of one of their destroyers, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Look at us holding and bringing people back to us. One of the destroyers, the one that was presumably going to go to the left, has come back and died. Two of their battleships are still focused on us, and that's not including the guys that we were shooting at on the left side of this island, on the back side of that island, who could potentially be paying attention to us rather than doing their job on their side of the map. So this allows our team to start to grow a pair and move forward on that flank. Now you can see that our destroyer has been pushed back on the Alpha Cap. You can see that because there's a destroyer in the Alpha Cap. The cruiser is not in the cap yet, but the cap is being flipped. So we know that their second destroyer is at the Alpha Cap. We're going to try to stick our nose out and maybe get some shots here at the Flandre. Unfortunately, can't do it. The Lion's not in a position where we can actually hit him either. We're hoping that we can lob the island, but again, just do not have the firing arch that you need with this ship. It's very flat trajectory, which is great when you're firing AP at broadsides. It really is. Like, this thing's AP is no joke. If you get a chance to use it, you absolutely want to use it. But when you're trying to set fires or do some damage over time and you're trying to utilize island cover, it can be a little bit of a pain in the neck, right? Now, anybody who remembers the old York from way back in the day remembers this thing used to fire 1,000,000 miles into the sky, and it was the slowest goddarn reload and the slowest rate, like, it was the slowest shells that you've ever seen. So hitting anybody outside of like 13 kilometers was almost impossible. But you can see here, not having those firing arcs is actually being a problem for us. Now, Monk makes a rather... I respect the decision, but I think he miscalculated that the left side of the map was going to be able to shoot him. Remember, we've been shooting at that left side when we get an opportunity. There is a Colorado and a North Carolina over there, and both of them are loaded for bear and absolutely ruin Monk on his way out. Which means, when he comes out and finally goes broadside, he's broadside to the Leon, trying to torpedo the enemy Flounder. Flounder manages to finish him off, and that leaves two squishy cruisers in the middle of the map to hold off the advances of a couple of battleships. Notice that the enemy on the left side are starting to come back this direction. Our team has managed to grab that cap. Our other destroyer has managed to at least stop the enemy destroyer from grabbing the alpha cap, and now you can see that there are two cruisers on that left side and a battleship that is all the way out on the flank versus our two battleships, and they still have that destroyer over there. So now, Colorado coming back to defend us manages to get himself absolutely yeeted by the battleships that have moved up into the Charlie Cap. And this is exactly why this strategy can work if utilized properly. Even with ships that aren't meant to do this sort of thing, as long as you play like you've got a pair and don't throw your ship away immediately, you can in fact do some serious damage to the enemy's game plan, because they have to respect you. You could actually move in and start to cap this base. So you have to have somebody back to defend. If they don't, then they're going to give up this cap, right? But if they come back and our team has started to move the flanks, then those guys are going to be able to absolutely tear these guys apart on their way back. And that's exactly what's happening. You can see between the Munich and me, I'm managing to get all of the initial fires, and Zarkun is managing to get all of the perma fires, which is why at the end of the day, Zarkun's going to manage to get more damage than I am in this fight. But it is to be expected. We don't care. We never expected to survive this long, to be honest. Like, we were fully expecting to be dead at this point. Now, the left side has been wrapped up. Those guys are free to come in and set up a crossfire on the Lion and the enemy Flounder. And that allows us to move forward and then put some pressure on those guys as well. They have to choose who they want to shoot at, right? And as long as we bide our time, we don't want to put ourselves out there first. Remember, we're in cruisers and these guys are expecting us. You can see I do fire a little bit here to try to get some shots into the Lion. We're trying to get some shots up there, but again, the firing arc is just not quite there. We're hitting the tree. It's really unfortunate. He fires back at us, and of course he gets another double fire, hitting our superstructure. I swear to God, he hit the very top of the superstructure, somehow gets a double fire. And chunks us again for another like 5,000 damage, which is not ideal. But look at the team wrapping around the island, and now they've set up the full crossfire. Again, this is the perfect scenario for us, right? Because now those guys are moving in. We've got the destroyer support there as well. You can see 3 torpedoes each, so that's got to be an Akatsuki, right? So we know it's an Akatsuki wrapping around with the support of 2 battleships. And now at this point, I make the decision it's time to go. Now that the Lion is having to pay attention to those guys, now's our chance to finally move out and try to get rid of this guy. We're going to load up the armor piercing. Remember what I said, this armor piercing is not to be slept on. If you get the opportunity to use this armor piercing, use it. Bow side plating, before he can rotate his guns, we absolutely annihilate him. 6,000 damage, and that was only because that's all he had to give. We would have done more there. And of course, we managed to look out at the Chumfin. The Lion manages to go down to our guys behind. And now we're in a situation where we're going to help with the cruiser over there, and we're going to start to yeet him. And there's the armor piercing on a very lightly armored target. He starts to turn away, so we switch over to the HE. because obviously we don't overmatch him, so we want to make sure that we land some good, solid, high explosive on target. He's going to try to smoke up, but we already got the shot in the air, so as long as we aimed this correctly, he should go down. And... nope, didn't manage to kill him. Unfortunate. But, fortunately, Zarkun managed to take him out. But the enemy Bismarck comes around the corner, takes a shot at us, and at the end of the day, it's a Bismarck, so what are the odds that he hits us, right? Just trust in the RNG of the German battleships, and you will be okay. And sure enough, he hits us with a couple of overpins, and we're going to be able to help take him down. Between me and Zarkun's DPM, this guy doesn't stand much of a chance. More Zarkun than me. And at the end of the day, we didn't get a lot of damage, but we had a pretty high... what is the word I'm looking for when people shoot at you? Damage, potential damage in this one. 60,000 damage, 2 kills, managed to help capture a base, got third on the team with an Akazuki. Sorry, it was an Akazuki out there. I thought there was an Akatsuki. Oh, there was. Akatsuki was on the left, Akazuki was on the right. Okay. But either way, this was a fun match with the guys. A very unreasonable push. Highly do not recommend pushing middle with a couple of squishy cruisers. But sometimes it's not about playing smart. It's about playing to have some fun. And this was a fun game. And we got a nice little fun video out of it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, if you like these kinds of meme videos that are just fun, punch the like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.